What is up, everybody? So today I'll be using the golden ratio and possibly even the rule of thirds, because those are the most important principles of 2D design, especially when you're trying to catch people's eyes. You really need those to be pretty perfect. But I'm going to experiment and see if I can just do the I want to see if I can do the golden ratio in an estimate, because I do know that the proportions have to be at a certain way. They have to be rectangles and squares, basically. And, well, although you do need a ruler and you do need a compass to create the spiral of that golden section to make it seem very appealing, what I'm going to do instead, I was thinking, just seeing how much this measures in general, 45. I'm gonna do like a very rough estimate of everything. So basically, I do know this. This is what I know for now. While I was studying. So this is what it's supposed to be like. So this is how it's supposed to look like. Each square, rectangle, you have a rectangle and you put, A always has to be this A part right here, always has to be greater than B, the B part, but B cannot be less than 0, it has to be greater than 0. And to get this, for example, let's say you have A plus B equals 4, let's say it's length times width, let's say length times width, right? The length right here is depending on this part right here, which is the width. Let's say the width is 4, right? That signifies that A has to be greater than B, and B has to be less than A to amount to 4. So A plus B equals 4, but A has to be greater than B, and B has to be less than A to amount to this 4, right? So me knowing these basic estimates, I'm thinking about making this Fibonacci sequence, like using this formula, just this, not using the 1.618 something, 1.6 something, right? And it goes on and on and on using that ratio, even though it is the Fibonacci sequence, and it helps to create the exact estimate, the exact calculation for Fibonacci sequence, or the golden mean, or the golden ratio. I'm just gonna use these things here with what I have here. So let's say I have, okay, this right here is up to 45. Oh, this is millimeters. So let's say, okay, so I have 18 inches here. I'm going to keep on going, see how much is this here. It is 18 plus 6. 18 plus 6. 18, 19, 20. That's 24. So I have 24 inches in width. And what we're trying to do here is this. Knowing all of this here, A plus B has to be greater than, has to be equal 24. So the width has to have, has to equal 24. A has to be greater than B, and B has to be less than A. So it can be any number as long as as this rectangle has the section like that. And then I could keep on going into even smaller sections, smaller, until it makes a spiral. So knowing this, knowing that I can draw this sequence using this, right? I'm going to make a typography. Now, what is a typography? A typography is when you have two similar objects. Let's say we have a circle and we have a circle, right? Circle and a circle. As long as I have the same pattern of one circle, right? One circle. As long as I have one circle in each one, they will all be the same, but they will have different patterns. Let's say this is a pizza, and this is going to be a shaded circle, but it has to be it can't be an oval, it can't be a triangle, it has to be a circle, because that's what's creating a similarity of each and every one of them. Let's say I have this one as a stripes, right? So they're all circles. They all have the similar shape. It can be similar shape value. There's, for example, there's like people who have different types of houses, but they're in the old age, stuff like that. Different churches, but the fact that they're churches and they have like a similar type of structure, their typography. Or let's say it's the same person but in different places, typography. So as long as it has a similar type of appearance but in different manners, it's a typography, right? So that's my assignment basically. I'm going to make one here, one here. Almost similar paintings, but they're going to have the Fibonacci sequence and possibly even the rule of thirds. Let's see if I can pull this one off. So now that you know about the Fibonacci sequence, what I'm trying to do, we're going to talk about the rule of thirds. Rule of thirds. Right. So rule of thirds. Basically, you have a grid that is in 3, 6, 9. Threes. In threes, right? These are going to be your focal points. These are going to be your focal points. Right here, right here, right here, or right here. And wherever you want the audience to lie their eyes in is where exactly is where you want to put something that means the most in your art. So that's the rule of thirds. And it even helps to create like some kind of focal point. Let's say this is where you want to make people look at the most. So that means that this part right here, you're gonna make sure that people, make sure it's kind of like a funnel, right? You want people to, this is gonna be the farthest part and this is gonna be the closest part, right? The farther these lines are from each other, the closer the things are at. And the closer the lines are to each other is where the focal point will be. And that's where the farthest looking things will be. And it's very important to know these types of 2D design principles, because you want to catch the people's eyes, right? Just let me show you how it looks like for a whole second. So yeah, that's how it's supposed to look like. And this is an example. But like I said before, the rule of thirds can be seen in different types of places. Let's say you want to choose this part right here, right? Your focal point will be there, basically. And you have this distance from here, farthest here. So this right here is going to be the closest. And the closer you are to this dot, the farther the things will be. So it's pretty easy to understand once you get to understand it. I definitely think it's important to watch YouTube videos about it. But yeah, I know that there's like a whole bunch of classes that you can pay for them. They're very expensive to understand geometric sequences and but I bet these days YouTube is literally so free that you can literally watch anything and not have to pay for them. You just gotta figure out how to research the right way, just little by little, watching videos, the basic steps of whatever it is. And then eventually what you learn from those little videos, you're like, oh, this video has shown me something that I want to keep on discovering. I'll search about what I discovered and what other questions it has led me to from watching that video. Basic research. So yeah, these days you can literally do anything free as long as you put your mind to it and you're very passionate about what you want to do. So yeah, 45, let's see, that's 45 inches. Oh, 45 millimeters, my bad. Okay, so that's 18 inches right here. We have 18 inches, and we have about six, right? So now that we've seen that, and same measurement that we measured before, 18, 20, 18, 19, 20, 24, okay. This is what I'm gonna do. So that we have 24. So now that we have 24, each space will be, each typography will be about 12 inches, right? 12 inches right here, 12 inches there. And the space will be 1 inch. So I'll have 1 inch here from that 12 inch from that 12 inch space, I'm gonna put 1 inches there. Again, from that 12 inch space, I'm gonna put 1 inch here. Same thing goes here. There's 12 inch space. I will put 1 inch there. And I will also, 12 inch, 11 inches, 12 inch, put the 11 inches here, boom. So now I have some space, some borders, right? So that means, what does that mean, guys? Each space will be 10 inches in total, with the border being 1 inch, but actually 2 inches in the middle, 1 inch on the sides, right? Okay. All right, now I'm going to measure the other side. Okay, so that's about 18 inches there, right? So that signifies that each space will be 9 inches, right? And I will create a 1 inch border here, another inch border here, 1 inch border here, and another inch border here on the left side. So I have these spaces, right? I'm gonna do the same on the other sides, just so it will be a little bit easier. And actually, I'll do it on the middle, in the middle too, just so it will be a straight line, and it won't be as hard to. 9 inches. We have 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So yeah, I'll do this part first. I'll do this part right here first. Wait a minute. I think I might be doing something wrong. I am. I'm doing something wrong. Okay. Yeah, I am. Yeah. So disregard these parts here. So what matters the most right now, I'm going to actually just do these parts right here first, just because I don't want to screw them up. So I'll do the left to right part first, and then going up and down, just so I won't confuse myself, because it's basically going to be like 2 rectangles, right? So this is 1 inch, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I will, so this part has to go up, right? And these parts will also have to come up. So I'm just making a small mark, a long mark there. And another part here, just so I can remember that those will be going up. And yes, I know that this part was not supposed to be made. Make sure that when you're making these marks that you don't make them as harsh as mine. Do not do them as harsh as mine, okay? But anyways, we're gonna be using acrylic, so it's okay, right? All right, so poo poo cha cha poo poo cha. Okay, nice. So I'm going to remember where I put the other part. So that's 18. I'm gonna put 1 inch border here, just to have like a stopping point. Mommy, I can't talk right now. Okay, don't worry. Oh gosh. Isn't that embarrassing? So I'm just gonna do those small arcs there. Right here. Just so we know that that's where I want to make the straight line. Right? So, boom, boom. I'm gonna go like this. Have a straight line. And let's see. This will be 12. That was 1 inch. About 1 inch. We're not doing this perfectly, of course. 12, 11. This part right here is where I want to. There you go. Just, I'm gonna measure this part real quick. So this 1 inch was supposed to be right about here. That's weird. And it's okay to make mistakes. I think I might have to start over. It's okay. We'll figure it out. So we have 1 inch here. Oh, okay, so it's 1 inch. But this part right here, I did not measure. It is not 1 inch. It is actually less than 1 inch. We actually want it to be up to here. So I'm gonna measure that. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. This part right here. Okay, so we're gonna actually erase this part. Because you don't want crooked lines. You really don't want crooked lines. And erase this part here. Don't forget, do not make them as harsh of lines as mine, because you will fail badly. Right here. Here you go. Nice. So that is a lot more straight than before. So now that we have this part here, I'm just gonna erase this part and we're gonna measure again the 2 inches, right? 2 inches, right? 2 inches. Okay, so we have 2 inches is about right here. 2 inches is about here. We're gonna measure if we still have that part. Okay, perfect. So it is perfect. So we're from here to here, we have 2 inches. We're gonna make a mark here where 2 inches is at. Please always measure a little bit, like 2 times, like about 2 times. And we have 10, 11, 12, 10, 11. Yeah, that makes sense. So we're gonna just like, to make sure that it's straight and we don't have to measure all over again, we're going to just put it up to 3 inches, and then just make it into 10 inches here, like so, and measure if it's at its point. A little bit high, but pretty close. So it was right there. That's fine. At least we know where to go. So 10 inches is right here. Make sure you line up pretty good. And boom. Also, very lightly. And I'm going to go measure back what this part was. What was its size? It was 16 inches. Okay, nice. So we have 16 inches here. We're gonna have 16 inches here. So as you can see, this is more of a video where you have to very lightly make marks in order to make them look presentable. That is the key word for this video: creating things to make things presentable. So let's see. Now that we have this part here, we're gonna see if I can make it straight. Just adding another small line here, adding another small line over here, measuring these two. Yep, they're both about 2 inches. So we're gonna make a line here. I should have made the other line first, but so now that we have that line, we're gonna go up to here. We have those lines to make it exact measurements. Make the exact measurement of these. Going to line them up and straight down like that, like so. Erase the parts where you mistaked. Right, I'm just gonna erase this part too. So if you really want to know how to make very straight lines, I can draw it for you. Basically, this is how my teacher taught me. Let's say we're trying to do like a 12 and a 9. Let's say we're trying to make a 12 and a 9, right? 9 by 12. Let's say you have we're gonna put 5 inches here, 5 inches here. And you, let's say we have a 9 by 12, right? And we're trying to make this centered, right? Whatever this picture may be, we're gonna put it inside this rectangle, right? Erase this so that you won't get confused. You have a 9 by 12 paper, sheet of paper. You're trying to create something in the middle right here, so you're going to, let's say it's a 8 by 10, right? An 8 by 10. That means that this is going to be 8 and this is going to be 10. You have 2 spaces left on the left and right side, so you're going to have 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So it is advisable that you put 1 inches here, 1 inch here, 1 inch here, 1 inch here, 1 inch over here, 1 inch over here, 1 inch, 1, 1. Just like measure it around, create some dots, right? So that you can do the 12 side, right? And then you have, let's see, you also have, let's erase this. This 9, oh yeah, it is 9, yeah. So in general, this paper right here is a 9 by 12. You, on this side, that means you have 12, and you're trying to fit in an 8 by 10. And this 10 right here, the measurements are very, very rough, right? This is not scaled correctly. So we have a 10 here. So that means that you have 1 inch borders here, and you're going to keep on measuring it up to here, right? And for the 9 part, I mean, for the 9 part right here, 9 part, what you're going to do is for 8 by 10. So this is going to be your 8 side, right? That signifies. Wait a minute. 8. Okay. All right, so that signifies, right? This whole part right here, this whole part here is an 8. You have a 9 here. So that means that you're gonna have 0.5 and 0.5 of inches on this border right here. You're gonna keep on doing that all around this side. Whole bunch of dots. There, you will not miss a straight line. It'll just be like a whole bunch of dots. Be a whole bunch of dots. And then you can, right, it will be like a whole bunch of dots. And just like that, you'll be making straight lines because you'll just be connecting the dots. And that is how you do that. So this part of the video, I just wanted to explain to you what I will be doing, which is the assignment of a typography of 2 sides, both using the Fibonacci sequence and possibly the rule of thirds. I think I will be using the word rule of thirds, that's for sure, because I really want to capture the appearance, right? Like, of this whole painting. You really want to attract the eye, and that's how you create sales, and that's how you become a much more popular artist, just by the fact that you understand that's how we as humans, our eyes navigate towards that type of sequence in a subconscious way. And that is exactly how nature works. When you see spirals of flowers, you see a Fibonacci sequence can be fit in anywhere, literally even into our hands as well. Using a type of interesting calculator / ruler type thing where it's like 4 things and then it just goes like that. Well, if you look at any of the videos of Fibonacci sequence, of golden mean ratio, the teachers, they have this interesting type of measurement type of tool that helps to understand every single thing that involves that, those basic 2D principles. And I think it's a very important thing. So if you really like this video and it inspired you to keep on learning and understanding what this is, because at the same time I'm learning, I'm a student, and shoot, I just learned this today. I just wanted to share it out with you guys. If you really like this video, please thumbs up, like, and don't forget to subscribe.